Is it gonna let me zoom in? There we go. All right, let me close my door. All right. Forgot I had a cup of tea right here. Good evening. This is Lolita with Whatever Lolita Wants, Lolita Gets. I am about to take off my makeup, sipping some peppermint tea. Um, all right. I like what I'm seeing in the viewfinder, but I don't necessarily like what I'm seeing in the in just the mirror. And I put some rollers in my hair. I need to get my touch up, but I'm getting ready for bed. And to those of you who may not be aware, I do live videos for the most part because I don't do any editing yet. Um, so that's why I go live, because I've had people come in the comments and say I'm the only one in here, and as if that's supposed to move me. And yeah, so I go ahead and do what I'm going to do. And then if people choose to, if they see my video and choose to stop in and see what I'm talking about on the replay, then they're welcome to do that. Maybe, okay, maybe I'm not doing that then. Enough of that. Hold on. It makes it a little bit better. One of the things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to makeup, and I think I'm going to do makeup on another channel, but I kind of wanted to address this part of the makeup on this channel, because a lot of y'all have heard me talk about the makeup on this channel, but I think I'm going to do makeup on another channel. And if I can help it, I think I'm going to try to do those videos not live, but pre-record and then upload. And not talk. That way it should be shorter. The makeup videos should be shorter. I'm trying to see if I'm liking this, because what I wanted to talk about with the makeup thing, the trend of having a light, and I've talked about this before, having a light interior to the face, and then a bronzed up exterior. Now that's making it look better. So I don't know. I'll have to see, because I'm getting ready to take the makeup off. I'm just playing with this bronzer now. So that's better, but I still don't like this light interior. Now, I've come to the conclusion, and this is going to be my makeup practice going forward. I have no use. I went from banana powder to regular translucent powder, and this one happens to be the Laura Mercier regular original translucent, and that's what I use today under my eye. Um, I may keep using it under my eyes, but I need to remember to do it only under my eyes. Only. Okay? I don't want it around here and right in here and around here and all up in here. And I don't like that, because I looked at myself in my compact mirror when I was still downstairs, and there was some sunlight, and it was giving ghost. And I don't like that. And to me, it was giving ghost. Or I didn't look brown, and I am brown. So when I do my makeup, I want to brighten up my under eye, to help cover the darkness right in here. And I didn't put on corrector today because I was just running an errand on my lunch break. But anyway, I didn't put on corrector under here, but I need to start using my corrector because we're 2 shades lighter. I thought I had been live. It's saying you're live. Okay, then put on a corrector, not a corrector, a concealer that's 1 or 2 shades lighter. And I'm saying that maybe I'll keep using this original translucent powder, but I don't know if I'm even going to do that. We'll see. Because this trend in makeup on brown skinned women of being extremely light on the interior of the face, I don't like it. I don't like it on me, and a lot of the people that I see it on, I don't like it on. So apparently, I just don't like that trend. So now this is looking a little bit better since I bronzed it up, but I would rather not have to use all the bronzer and just look brown with a bit of a brighter under eye. That's what I think I'm going to go back to doing. Okay. And so I really don't have any use for this. What I'm thinking, this original light powder. I'm with this. I'll set it out. I'll have a lighter concealer, 1 or 2 shades lighter, powder my entire face with a skin tone powder. And it should still look brighter under here because I have on a lighter shade concealer, 1 or 2 shades lighter concealer. I don't like what I'm seeing, and I sure don't like it on me. Okay, that said, so that's the makeup, and I'm about to take the makeup off anyway. All right, today, I watched clips of an interview that, what is her name? Harris. Oh gosh, I'm not the best with names, y'all. She interviewed Erica Kirk. Okay, she interviewed Erica Kirk, and my makeup wipes. And Erica Harris Faulkner, yeah, she even commented, "I've never seen you like this before," because Erica really went in and on conspiracy theories and what's being said about her husband's death and all of this. So the way she put it, it was very obvious to me that she was referencing Candace, maybe not just Candace, but I think she was referencing Candace. And, she said Charlie was my husband, and I don't have time to come down from the wall because she compared herself to Nehemiah, who was building the wall, rebuilding the wall around Jerusalem, I think it was. And so she said she didn't have time to come down to answer people's questions, and she's entitled to feel exactly how, however she wants to feel. But I think, and then Candace had a response, her show, because I just finished watching her show a little bit ago. And the thumbnail clip said, "I think they're talking about me." And so she said how she felt about it, and I agree with what she said. If Erica is going to be the CEO of the company, People have questions about how her husband died, and I understand that's her husband, but the way, if in fact this happened, because some people are saying that they don't believe that that CK is actually gone. Okay, I don't understand that. And I mean, I know people do psyops and the governments and stuff do psyops and things like that. And you just never know in this day and age what's real and what's not. But Candace's response, I think, was professional. I think it remained courteous, but I also think she went ahead and said what she wanted to say. And I liked how she handled herself and how she just went ahead and said what was on her mind. Because, yes, that's Erica's husband, but the way he was taken out, it was public, okay? And people are wondering what's going on. People who normally wouldn't even care, especially given the climate of this country and the way the country has been towards, I'm just going to say, my folks, we're doing good to care what happened. Okay. But as that's, I told you I'm a straight shooter. So, but like I said, I don't like seeing anybody executed. If he is in fact gone, I don't like the fact that his children are without a father. Okay. And I would like to know, not saying that anybody owes me answers, but I mean, as an American citizen, as a citizen, in this country, I would like to know what happened to that man. Why was he taken out in such a brutal fashion? So, yeah, and Erica needs to understand that. Um, but I like how, like I said, I like how Candace answered her, or responded, and how she handled herself responding to Erica's comments that were obviously meant towards her. I'll say again, I may not like somebody, but I don't have a right to put my hands on them. I don't have a right to end their life. Okay? I can talk about them as much as I want to talk about them, and really, even I don't even like saying any and everything. I'll say how I feel, and people like it or don't like it. But the violence and people out here doing things to other people, they know they wouldn't want done to themselves. And I will say this, Erica made the comment, she said, "Can I have this one thing?" Talking about where her husband is going to be buried or put to rest. She said he was taken out publicly, and just this one thing I want to keep private for the family. And that's, it's understandable. But there again, I agree with Candace when um, when she said that Erica recording herself at Charlie's casket, crying and holding his hand and his body in the casket. When she showed that clip, because I've seen it before, but I tend to turn my head until that's passed because I have a very sensitive soul and spirit. But I watched it and actually saw it today where Erica was at the casket of Charlie and holding his hand and talking about she loved him and everything. That was disturbing. And that would have been a moment to keep private. When my father died, and I went to the funeral, in the Black community, it is common for the casket to be open under normal circumstances, the casket to be open so people can view the body. And then right before the service starts, they'll close the casket and put the flowers on top. I can't talk about anybody else's culture but mine. When my father passed, I sat outside in the foyer while the casket was open and they were viewing his body. There was nothing wrong with his body. He just, he told me personally a year before he passed that he was ready to pass. Then a year later, he woke up and spoke to everybody one morning. And then when they called him for breakfast, he had exited his body. So there was nothing wrong, just really wrong with him. Um, so it's not like he was distorted or anything. Trigger warning. But at my father's funeral, I sat in the foyer until they closed the casket. And I asked my brother in law to come get me when they had closed the casket because I did not want to see my father not animated. Okay? So, yeah, my being is sensitive to that. And yes, that was my father, so there's going to be more emotions with that. But looking at Erica viewing Charlie and holding his hands, that bothered me when I actually saw, because Candace played the clip today on her show. That bothered me. And yeah, that it was disturbing. Not that I'm afraid of death or anything, but just the circumstances under which the man was taken out of here. He wasn't but 30 something, which would be the age range of my offspring and generation and stuff like that. Um, so talking about being private and wanting to have, just one thing, that would have been one thing to keep, Erica, because I certainly didn't need to see that. So there again, like I said, not that I'm a fan of Candace, but I definitely agree with her on that. So that's really all I wanted to say. I'm taking off my makeup. I use my little wipes to take the makeup off. And then I'm going to use an astringent to make sure it's all off. And do my little moisture routine. And then get showered and get ready for bed. And go to Zero Gravity. And turn on an audiobook or I don't know, an audiobook or maybe listen to a nice video or something like that. I finished up a mystery book last night. It was just so, I put on some ambient sounds. I like the old library ambient sounds where it's playing the rain and the fireplace and all of that, and it's kind of, the ambiance is kind of dark or whatever. So I had that on my phone, and I was just laying in my bed finishing up the book that I've had forever from the library, and had the little vibrating thing on the bed while I was reading. I was like, oh, this is just so enjoyable. I love that. Okay, so I'm done with that book. I'm ready to do some nonfiction now because normally I like to read mystery fiction, but I have really exhausted a lot of the mystery fiction that I'm interested in until I discover some new ones. So I'm ready to do some nonfiction. I've exhausted the fiction. I don't know what I just said. I feel like I just said nonfiction. I've exhausted the fiction that I'm interested in until I discover some new ones. So I'm ready to get into some nonfiction. But this was just a quick little check-in while I take off my makeup to discuss those few things. The makeup and how I'm going to be wearing it going forward, and then the EKCO back and forth. Anyway, this has been Lolita with Whatever Lolita Wants, Lolita Gets, and we shall talk later. Good night in my area. Good evening, good morning. Okay, we'll talk later.